Okay, we are live and we are set to go here for episode 4 of season 3 of RCW. So, to start off, we have Mustafa Ali facing up against Seth Rollins. So, Mustafa Ali has been looking to punch his ticket into any title picture, let alone the RCW Carnage Championship, which is held by Brian Outlaw currently. We've heard nothing from Shinsuke Nakamura. We've heard nothing from Chris Danger. However, Chris Danger and AJ Styles, they've been battling it out in quite the rivalry. So, it's been a while since I've done this, I would say. Like, I usually do it every week, but I had some things to attend to. And we ended up doing 2 episodes of Lockdown instead because I didn't have the card made. And, you know, I want to make sure that the match card for this is made ahead of time and everything is the way it should be rather than making some half-assed card. Hey, Anna, what's going on? So, anyways, that's where we have it today. As far as where Chris Danger and AJ Styles stand, they will meet at the pay-per-view. They will meet at Envy. They will definitely meet at Envy, RCW Envy. So we still have yet to choose an opponent for Brian Outlaw. We haven't chosen an opponent yet, or nothing has come to my attention yet as far as opponents for him for his RCW Carnage title, and he has no problem defending it. He's a very hard person to negotiate with, but he has no problem in defending it. But Mustafa Ali looks to possibly get into that picture and earn himself an opportunity at the RCW Carnage title if he can beat former RCW Carnage champion Seth Rollins. So, if he can win this, he might actually be able to punch his ticket. We haven't heard much from Seth Rollins as far as title picture. Ever since he lost the RCW Carnage Championship to AJ Styles, and I believe what was an Iron Man match, there hasn't been much of a title picture to speak of. Video buffered, and I don't know if the message sent. Yeah, it's fine. It might be your internet. It might. I've had that sometimes where people's streams have buffered. It also depends on how good your internet is. Sometimes the stream buffers, and there's also a delay from which messages are sent from where they're read. So there's a little bit of a delay, stream delay, but there's nothing I can really do about the stream delay part. So, this is my last week of college, which I'm really excited because, you know, it's not... That means I get to do more wrestling stuff, more RCW stuff, along with spending time with the family as Mustafa Ali looks to get a win here against Seth Rollins. It's starting out pretty well, but Seth Rollins able to reverse, but Mustafa Ali reverses right back. And another reversal from Seth Rollins, and the Kingslayer looks to possibly punch his ticket. He had a little bit of a rivalry going on with Jason Outlaw, in which they settled that in a match at the last pay-per-view, which I believe was Crusade, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to really think back, you know, especially once this show gets to, like, Season 10 or whatever, you know, if we ever decide to go all the way to Season 10. But I love how the show's going so far, especially with not changing anything. You know, not having to change the logos, having a set-in-stone logo, not worrying about, like, the tires as much, and just making more wrestlers. Honestly, I'd rather make more wrestlers than make attires for wrestlers that are already on the roster. Seth Rollins with a kick to the midsection, and a little bit of hesitation from Mustafa Ali, and that definitely definitely can cause a little bit of trouble here, and both men are on the outside of the ring. Looks to possibly get a body slam there, but the Kingslayer able to reverse. And now carrying Mustafa Ali and just planting him on the apron, the hardest part on the ring. That's definitely got to hurt there. Lifts him up here. Mustafa Ali able to reverse. And Seth Rollins again able to reverse. Jesus, this is a very back and forth matchup between these two. And that is to be expected. Tossing him into the RCW universe. It's a 7 count. Eight. Both men got to get back in the ring here. 9. And both men are able to get back in the ring. That would have been real. I never like the matches to end in countouts. You never like to see matches end that way, and it's always disappointing to see matches end that way. And ooh, planting Seth Rollins onto the ground here. So with Christmas coming up, let me know what you guys are planning to do for the holidays. I always get interested in. And if you don't celebrate Christmas and you celebrate Kwanzaa or whatever, let me know what you're doing for, I guess, the holiday cheer. If that's whatever you're doing, over break, or if you're in school or whatever, or for the holidays or whatever it is. Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. My family has always celebrated Christmas, and it's one of my favorite times of the year because it's very hard for my family to get together because everyone is working and everyone has their obligations via work, and it's the one time where my family members can actually get together. And to me, like, getting presents, it isn't what Christmas is about, and it shouldn't be, as with a super kick. But I always like seeing my little cousins get Christmas presents, because just seeing the smiles on their faces as they get Christmas presents and as they unwrap those presents, it's awesome. I always like getting gifts. Who doesn't like getting free stuff? You know what I mean? As Seth Rollins hits the knee on Mustafa Ali, able to kick out Mustafa Ali. But I really like Christmas because, it's just one of those times that I get to enjoy with my family. And, it's fantastic. And, I feel bad for those who, have very, I guess, dysfunctional families, or those who have a hard time getting along with their families, or you know what I mean, like those people who can't really celebrate the holidays, not because they don't celebrate it, but because of just how their families are. And you hate to see that happen. And it's unfortunate, but it definitely does happen. And I hope for those of you that are celebrating Christmas, you guys have a really awesome Christmas and you guys have fun. And a neck breaker by Mustafa Ali, looking to pin Seth Rollins. Referee with a little bit of hesitation there. And you have to think, without that hesitation from the referee, Mustafa might have had him there. Looking for the 054 splash. But Seth Rollins able to get to his feet. And Seth Rollins wisely rolling out of the ring, possibly taking a breather here. That's exactly what I would have done. So, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, and for those of you that don't, you can find that in the panels, because I highly suggest you do, because it's just not just for my follow count. It's real, but for those of you who like the show and who want to be more involved with the show in any way possible, social media is a real big help with that. And I know some people who don't necessarily use Facebook or use any social media for that matter, but for those of you who do, it's just an easier way to get in contact with the show, rather than besides just being here and watching it, obviously. And Seth Rollins has got to look for this matchup, and possible pin combination, but Seth Rollins able to reverse it. And now he's in the driver's seat. Planting Mustafa Ali. What an incredible match that was between him and Dean Ambrose the other night at WWE TLC last night. I really liked that match. And Dean definitely deserved the title, for sure, in my opinion. Because he hasn't really gotten a chance to have a title opportunity. So, you know, it was really cool to see him win. Again, Seth Rollins trying to get his bearings here. Looking for the 054. 054 on Seth Rollins. As you can see the replay, look at the air on this. This is absolutely insane. This is why I love Mustafa Ali. And Seth Rollins, at last gasp, kicks out at 2.5. Imagine the amount of momentum that Mustafa Ali would definitely receive if he's able to beat Seth Rollins here. Going for the 054 again and connects with the 054 once more. And again, look at the error on that. You should be able to get this time. And no, Seth Rollins kicks out again at 2.5. Seth Rollins definitely doesn't want to quit, because even if he wins this matchup, who knows what could happen for the winner of this matchup here. But like I said, with RCW, we like to have people earn their opportunities, and winning matches is definitely how you earn opportunities here in RCW. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out the winner here. There's a kip up from Mustafa Ali, and now he's fired up. Again, going for the neck breaker here. And connects. Referee hesitating a little. He probably... I don't know why Mustafa canceled that pin there, but he probably knew that Seth Rollins was going to kick out. He doesn't think that'll be enough. But that might be a costly mistake as he uses his instant recovery and again plants Seth Rollins down. Mustafa trying to get to the rope here. Going to the top rope, looking for the 054 for a third time. But Seth Rollins realizing that and tries to get back to his feet and reverses out of the way. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Going to the top rope. What is Seth Rollins thinking? Mustafa able to push him down. But Seth Rollins gets right back up. Gets right back in the ring. And Mustafa able to take Seth Rollins down. I have to admire the quickness and agility of Mustafa Ali. That's something that is really hard to come by here in RCW. And definitely the most quick and agile people that I can really compare them to are the Outlaws. You know, and there's no other wrestler right now on the roster that, other than Rey Mysterio perhaps, that can be quick. And looks for the 054 again and connects for a third time using the 054. That's got to be it this time. And no, Seth Rollins still kicked out. Holy cow, 4 054s, or 3, excuse me, and Seth Rollins still kicked out. This is an insane matchup. But Mustafa has to get right back on top of it. Lost connection. Oh, you did? On your end? Yeah, sometimes that happens. The YouTube app doesn't always work here with the internet here either. Then again, it's college Wi-Fi, so I don't really expect it to work most of the time. I just can't wait to go home and actually get on my Wi-Fi. Like, I'm able to stream really well on this Wi-Fi. Like, I have no problem streaming at all. But, and a knee to Mustafa Ali. 2, 3, and Seth Rollins wins. Wow. Well, yeah, like I was saying, a lot of times with this Wi-Fi, it cuts in and out or just doesn't... It doesn't do that when I'm streaming. It just does it on my phone. like YouTube won't load or something like that, or you know, it's with certain devices that it just doesn't really work too well. I don't know why. But Seth Rollins, very resilient and able to win over Mustafa Ali, but what an effort from Mustafa Ali there. 3 054 splashes. But that wasn't enough. Seth Rollins definitely is probably one of the most resilient superstars on this roster, and I guarantee he just further proved that point tonight with that victory. But we still got a little bit to go here. We have, like I said, you know, it's really difficult sometimes with this Wi-Fi. You know, you never really know, and that's why I like, cause see, at my house we don't have internet, we have internet. We don't have cable, so we have Hulu with live TV and Netflix, and I obviously pay for the WWE Network for the pay-per-views and NFL Sunday Ticket and stuff. But so we need really badass internet because we stream from everything. So my mother got internet, got Spectrum internet, paid for the Ultra package. We had good internet at our old house, but at our new house we got this brand new router. And let me tell you, having a brand new router can definitely improve your internet. It honestly doesn't matter what internet package you have. It matters what internet provider you have. So you can have the highest amount of internet, like pay for the highest amount of internet. But if you don't have a good router, it was different. So we had the standard internet back at my old house, and we ended up getting this brand new router towards the end of our old house, like when we were moving. And so we got this brand new router, and you can go online to speedtest.net, and it'll actually tell you your upload speed, which is what you need to find out for streaming. And you need a decent upload speed. I believe 12 upload speed is pretty good. Anywhere between like 10 and 12 usually is pretty good. Download speed is really key though, because if you're a person that downloads a lot of games, that plays a lot of games, and with every game that's on Xbox or PlayStation 4, every game is downloaded. And if you want your games to download quickly, you need to have a good download speed. And depending on the size of the game, like if it's like 20 to 30 gigs, you know, it's going to take a little bit depending on your download speed. So, anyways, we got this brand new router at my house, like recently. Well, not really recently, but when we first like moved in there, and it upgraded. On a good day, my download speed would be at a 30, which is terrible. It's okay, but it could be better. And the one day it would be 20. So it was very inconsistent. And you want to have a consistent internet. You want to have a consistent upload speed, consistent download speed. Like you don't want it to be going from 20 to 30 or 20 to 30 the next day or 40 to 20 the next day. Like you want something that's very consistent, and a lot of times that's the router. Yeah, I'm still in college. This is my last week. But anyway, so we got that, and right after I did a speed test, I went from 30 download speed to 117 download speed, megabits per second. So that is crazy. That means that my games and anything that I download is downloading really fast. And I got like I don't know, maybe a 50 or 60 upload speed or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to test it out again when I go home. But it's pretty insane. So yeah, I get full HD stream, so I can stream at 1080p if I wanted to. And the reason why I don't stream at 1080p 60 frames per second is because a lot of people with with internet connections, like with terrible internet connections, they can't stream at that. Or they can't watch it at that. So, because it'll buffer constantly. So that's why I only stream at the bare minimum 720p. So, last week was some people's last week. Yeah, I know that. So, with that said, just a little bit of advice for those who want to start streaming. Need good internet. That's probably the #1 thing you need, is good internet. I can't stress that enough. But we have Paige here, the former RCW Women's Champion. I still love her entrance. Still freaking love her entrance. Coming out with Sky Outlaw and Jason Outlaw. So, obviously, they have rekindled their friendship, repaired their friendship, and obviously it was nothing personal. Paige understands that when a title comes in the picture, there's no room for friends. You know, there's no room for it. And, you know, it's every woman for themselves in this division. So, you know, there's nothing else. But she goes up against Ruby Riott right here. And you have to wonder, are Jason and Sky going to play a factor in this matchup? But usually, Liv Morgan and the rest of the Riot Squad, usually they get involved in matches as well. So think of Jason Outlaw and Sky Outlaw as like equalizers in a way. Like they're only going to get involved when necessary. What a momentum this would be if Paige can get a win over Ruby Riott here. Sky and Ruby Riott know each other very well. Actually, Sky's first ever pay-per-view match at the Havoc pay-per-view was in Season 2, was against Ruby Riott, in which she won that match. Now, Irish whip to the corner here. Now the raven-haired Renegade hurts her knee there, but Paige able to reverse it. Now, question is, how bad is Paige's neck? Obviously, that made her retire from in-ring competition in the WWE. So, as she looks for a Boston Crab here, but realizing that Ruby Riott's going to break out of it, she breaks the hold. Ruby now trying to get back in this matchup. You have to wonder what exactly is that going to do for Paige. Is her neck fully 100%? Because that's the reason. That might have been the reason why she lost the title. I told her that when she first came to RCW that she wasn't going to be participating in a lot of matches. Oh God, no! Using the chair, but the referee got a little bit of a distracted there. Didn't realize that this match should have been stopped, but the referee didn't see it at all. And Paige, very smart, realizing that she's near the ropes, puts her foot on the rope for the rope break. Now escapes to the outside. And lets out a scream for the crowd. Now she's trying to get fired up. Oh no, misses the page turner at a clothesline. Kick to the face. Now a side Russian leg sweep to the raven-haired Renegade. That was one of her names, like back in NXT. They called her the mysterious raven-haired lady as well. She also has a nickname, Miss Hell in Boots. That's one of her nicknames that I found out recently, which I think is actually pretty cool. And they also called her the Diva of Tomorrow and the Anti-Diva in WWE. But off of the distraction and a power bomb for Ruby Riott and Paige, realizing now if Sarah Logan ends up touching Paige, that's an automatic disqualification. Going for some sort of drop kick there, but Ruby able to move out of the way. And Paige being very smart. Couple shots to the midsection. And a super kick. Wow. And Sky offering a little bit of an assist, throwing her back into the ring. That sets up the page turner here on Ruby Riott. Can she score a pin here? And Ruby able to kick out at 2. Looking for the rampage. This is patented Paige right here. Lifts her up, and a rampage on Ruby Riott. Can she pin Ruby here? But Liv Morgan distracting the referee. She raises a fist to Liv Morgan. Better watch herself here, otherwise she'll possibly be ejected. That's definitely not a bad thing. Sky Outlaw, none of the Outlaws have gotten involved in this matchup. Except for the little assist there, but I wouldn't really call it being involved. And a Riott kick from... And now Sky getting involved, distracting the referee, calling it even a little bit. A little bit of chain wrestling here, but Paige able to break out of this. Ooh, and a punch to the face. And another super kick. I used to love it when Paige would do that. That was one of my favorite moves. She is the boss lady of SmackDown Live, but she can still throw hands still. And a double axe handle on Ruby Riott. And an elbow drop. Another one. Paige probably asking herself, what do I have to do? And this is kind of hard because you got the Riott Squad here. And even with the Outlaws out here, it's still very hard to have a fair match. And a neck breaker there on Ruby Riott. And a pin again. Ruby just kicks out just in time at 2.5. Looking for the page turner again. This is what won her the Divas Championship against AJ. And Paige wins. Despite the Riott Squad problems. Paige has been on fire since she lost the title. I don't know what it is. But you have to wonder, what if it comes down to Paige again? To Paige and Sky again, and they have a rematch. And the outcome is different, and Paige ends up losing. Sky ends up losing the title to Paige. That would be very interesting. And the same thing would happen all over again. The animosity, the attacks, the hatred, everything would start right back up again. It seems that Brian Outlaw has also rekindled his friendship with Paige, judging by the tweet that he had sent out. which if I pull it up real fast, he goes, Paige, literally the sweetest. She cleans my boots for me after every match. This is our house, the Outlaw's house. She's one of us, and he jokes around and says, so how about that date? You know how he is with Paige. Those two definitely, I don't really know what goes on between those two, but whatever happens, it's just something very interesting. And Paige replies, breaking rules, right? Now, if you were on my show, I might have to suspend you. How's next Tuesday, Pumpkin? That work for you and your outlaw duties? And he says, hold up, sweetheart. You and I both know I'd be the reason you'd come to work every Tuesday night. So, honey, that suspension won't happen. And he goes, oh no, the boss lady gave me a timeout. Sounds great, honey. Give me your best punch. I'll sell it nicely. Sell it real nicely. I apologize. So, Brian Outlaw back to his flirting ways with the former RCW Women's Champion. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what... I don't really like to get involved in his personal life, in Brian's personal life, but, you know, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is about them two, but whatever it is, I just can't put my finger on it. But we have Alexa Bliss going up against Bayley here. Now, I believe Alexa Bliss and Paige had faced off against each other, and Paige won that match. And Alexa Bliss has been wanting to get back in the title picture since I believe she was in the Battle Royal, or no, not Battle Royale, Fatal 4-Way match all the way back in Season 1, in which she lost that match. She ended up losing that match. I can't remember to who, but she ended up losing it and not getting a title opportunity. So this will be very interesting, considering we are getting even closer and closer to RCW Envy. That'll be held in Las Vegas. And the goddess of RCW is now here. Now Bayley, on the other hand, if she wins this match, it would give her, definitely it would give her a chance to put herself in the title picture. She's never had a big match opportunity, but this really is a big match opportunity right here. And Alexa Bliss going right after Bayley. Who won the last match? The last match between Paige and Ruby Riott, Paige did. And Alexa able to reverse that one. Little Miss Bliss here. But Bayley right back on top here. Irish whip to the corner. And a monkey flip there by Bayley. Now, Bayley and Alexa, they've definitely had their rivalries in the past. I don't know what it is about Alexa and Bayley. You know, it's just, it confuses me because, you know, Alexa, you know, when the rivalry was going on, at least in WWE anyway, when the rivalry was going on, it seemed to me that Alexa just didn't value Bayley's dreams of getting here. Because she always dreamed about being a wrestler, like she met John Cena before wrestling, and, you know, she always dreamed about being a wrestler, and that's exactly what she did. You know, most of the superstars here in RCW have dreamed about being wrestlers at least one time or another. About making it to the big time here in RCW and going on their prospective indie journeys, and you would have to think that Alexa herself would value that, considering she fulfilled her dream you know, from having an eating disorder known as anorexia. She had anorexia when she was young. She was a cheerleader, and she wanted to be a wrestler, and that's exactly what happened. And she became this beautiful wrestler here. And Sky, what is she doing here? Oh no. This has got to be payback. Oh no, this is definitely payback, and Sky's the limit. And the referee calls an end to this matchup. Jesus. The referee's got to call it. A little bit of payback there from the attack from Alexa Bliss last episode. And Alexa Bliss wins by DQ. I don't know if that's the way I would have won, but a win's a win at the end of the day. So, but, you know, Sky and the Outlaws are definitely people that don't take no for an answer, that don't take shit from anybody, so. So we have Brian Outlaw going up against newly acquired or newly signed Apollo Crews. He took a shot at Shinsuke Nakamura, which we haven't seen him for a very long time, due to injury. Apparently he had an injury that has sidelined him, and Brian Outlaw said, he goes, "Where's Shinsuke at? Hasn't been on RCW in forever. Probably should stay home anyway. RCW is doing just fine without the need to face." And he goes, "Knock America? What even is that?" So, United States Champion, he is the current United States Champion in WWE, and he calls America not Knock America, like Nakamura. And I don't know if that's a good idea, because you know how Shinsuke is with his need to face and everything that he's done with AJ Styles, especially the rivalry that they had. Brian Outlaw definitely does not want to mess with them, for sure. And you'll see this brand new look here. Well, not really a new look per se, but I changed up the jacket for Brian Outlaw. I mean, the reason why is because I just thought it looked a lot cooler, and it actually looks like the jacket that I actually want for Christmas. It looks a lot like the jacket that I wanted for Christmas, that I want for Christmas this year. It's got the lace and the zippers on the sides of it, and the logo just looks absolutely amazing. And it's actually, the material is leather. The other material for the other jacket was just the default material. And there he is, raising the title up real high. Confidence from the RCW Carnage Champion. He's had many successful title defenses, and I think his next one will be no different. You know, he has no problem defending it. He actually wants opponents. You would think with somebody of his sort of cockiness and confidence like that, would not want to fight anybody. Like, would deem them unworthy of a title opportunity. But he actually welcomes everybody because he wants to... Brian Outlaw is the type of guy that wants to prove to everyone that he is the best. And he'll take on everybody, including this guy, Apollo Crews. And Apollo Crews looks to make something of himself in this debut here on RCW. Let's see if he can do just that, if he knocks off the RCW Carnage Champion. What a victory that would be. But right out of the gate with a big boot. from Brian Outlaw here. And a couple of knee strikes right to the face. And another one. Man, I feel sorry for Apollo, but Apollo able to reverse that. Both men very quick and agile, so what a matchup this can be, definitely, with how quick and agile they are. Brian able to reverse that too. And a couple of kicks. Very swift kicks here. A kick right to the midsection. And again, Brian's always the type of guy to always be on top of everything. I don't know what it is with him, but he's fired up. But an instant recovery. And now Apollo. Oh no, what's Apollo going for here? And a springboard crossbody from the middle rope. Going for a pin a little early here. Just a 1 count. Brian gets right back up. But misses that. Takes him down. Going after the referee, but the referee able to move out of the way. And takes down Apollo Crews. Takes down the referee. Spears the referee. Jesus. I don't know what it is with Brian and referees, but I don't know why he hates them so much. Getting the steel chair, weapon of choice, of course, of the Outlaws. And again, hits the referee down. Anything goes now. Now, the one thing I really want them to fix about the WWE 2K games, and there's plenty of things I'd like for them to fix, but one of the things that I would like for them to fix is how quickly the referee gets up from attacks. So if you attack the referee, he gets up just like that. Unless you hit him with like some freakishly insane move or something, and then he won't. But like, I just big booted him right there. I just gave him a big boot, and he gets up like a couple seconds afterwards. Like, how is that? Like, how is that even possible? You can't use the steel chair in this match, but you can wedge it. It is completely legal to do that. But the referee throws out the chair. Looks for the correction here on Apollo Crews. And connects on the correction. Looking to make an example out of this rookie, as Brian Outlaw would definitely call Apollo. But unable to connect on that elbow drop. Missed the trajectory, and Apollo now. Irish whip to the corner. And Apollo looking to get back in this matchup against a man he never thought he'd face in his debut matchup. Now, I talked to Apollo about this matchup tonight, and he said what an honor it is to face such a champion as Brian Outlaw. But the one thing, I asked him, I said, if there's one thing you could change, you know, if there's one thing you could say that you don't like about Brian Outlaw, you know, what would you say? And he just says that he doesn't appreciate the cockiness that comes from him. Yes, he's a good wrestler. He's not denying that. Well, but he doesn't need to go around thinking that he owns the place, thinking that everybody owes him something. You know, that he's owed these title matches, or that he runs the place. Like, he just doesn't appreciate that attitude by Brian Outlaw. And honestly, Brian Outlaw could care less. And a crossbody from the top rope. unable to pin Apollo down for the 3 count. But Apollo now again reversing. And a Samoan drop. I don't even know his finisher. I don't even know the name of his finisher. I gotta definitely look into that. Brian Outlaw able to reverse that. And a Samoan drop right back to him. And another correction on Apollo Crews. Can't get too cocky there, Brian. And a Lefez press on Apollo Crews. Just leaving him motionless in the ring. Uh-oh. He's getting ready. This is something that is signature Brian Outlaw here. Always looking to put somebody through the tables. And he's doing it to both of them. He has both of them redecorated. All right. Oh no, Brian. Don't do this, man. Don't do this. Oh no. Oh no, Brian, no. Don't. This is his debut match. Don't do this. Correction through the table. Jesus. And you can hear the "This is awesome" chants from the RCW universe. Oh no. When I ever hear that noise that's coming from outside, that means the fire alarm's going off in somebody's room. I just hope it doesn't happen today, because it happened last time when we streamed. That's why I can't wait to get out of here, so I don't have to worry about stupid fire alarms. That's the one thing I hate about living in college dorms is everybody sets off the fire alarm. Brian Outlaw going back to the outside to reset the count, and a snap suplex. Brian Outlaw very smart. Even in regular matches where countouts and disqualifications are a factor, he definitely knows what he's doing. Not again. You already did this once. Another correction through another announce table. And resets the count. Took a little bit too much time. Now Apollo is right back on it. Tries to go for the drop kick, but Brian able to reverse that. And a suplex right on the outside. Again, this is totally different from being on the inside of the ring. There's rarely any padding other than the mats. This is all floor right here. And again picks him up, and another suplex on the outside. And count of seven here. Gets back in the ring. 8. But Brian is never one guy to settle it, count out. See, that's the thing that, despite his attitude, I love it how he doesn't want to end matches in countouts. He doesn't believe in ending matches that way. He wants to punish opponents. That's what he came here to do. Oh no. To finish it off. Oh, tries for the low blow, but Apollo Crews reverses. That might come back to haunt Brian. And a standing moonsault. And a kick out. Oh no. This could be the end. Oh no! Blue Thunder Bomb, or at least I think that's what it is. And Bryan still kicked out. Bryan kicked out. I didn't even know how I did that. I'm still shocked. I don't even know how I did that. That was like a sliver on the pin. Just again punishing Bryan Outlaw. This again, I don't even know how Apollo Crews is even standing at this point. Is even doing anything. Because literally he was put through both announce tables. And Bryan Outlaw has 3 jailbreak DDTs that he can use. 3. Looking for another correction. Another correction on Apollo Crews. Looking to end this thing once and for all. Looking for the jailbreak DDT. We've seen him use this move millions of times. And a jailbreak DDT on Apollo Crews. Referee, count it. Nice try, Apollo. But he was just too much for the Outlaw. I got a feel for Apollo there. The amount of courage that it takes to face somebody like Bryan is insane. Nobody, honestly, nobody on the roster ever came up to me like Apollo Crews did and said, I want a match with Bryan Outlaw. And Shinsuke Nakamura, where did he come from? Bryan doesn't realize it. And Shinsuke Nakamura is back. He is returned from his injury. Oh no. Be careful what you wish for, Bryan. Be careful with the trash talk from Twitter. I guess he saw that tweet while at home. But Bryan fighting back. Shinsuke fighting back. And again, the attack on Bryan Outlaw is absolutely insane right now. Slamming Bryan Outlaw down. Holy cow, Shinsuke returned in the most brutal fashion. Wow. Look at Bryan. He's laying there. What just happened? You heard what Bryan Outlaw said about Shinsuke staying home. Asking him to stay home. But looks like that was the ticking time bomb in Shinsuke, and he's back. Jesus. We have Braun Strowman returning to in-ring action for the first time in a while against The Rock. Former RCW World Champions, two of them colliding. These two went up against each other for the RCW World Championship. And now Braun Strowman again returns to action. Who won between Bryan Outlaw and Apollo? Bryan Outlaw did. And Shinsuke Nakamura is back. By the way. Look at this mountain of a man, Braun Strowman, 375 pounds if I'm not mistaken. Imagine if he beats The Rock tonight. He could definitely punch his ticket in the RCW World Championship picture. You hear the chants Rocky from the RCW universe as the People's Champ is here to take on Braun Strowman once again in an Iron Man match. Now, an Iron Man match works like this. You have 15 minutes on the clock to earn as many pinfalls or submissions as you can. If your opponent taps out, that is 1 point. If your opponent is down for the count, that is 1 point also. Disqualifications are applied. So, if The Rock decides to use a steel chair or anything like that, a point will be awarded to his opponent, Braun Strowman. Same thing goes for Braun as well. But I doubt any of those will be needed, as both of these men have been in the ring together before. They know each other all too well. And The Rock looks to boost his confidence up again after losing the title to John Cena in a triple threat match where Edge was also a part of it as well. And now The Rock looking to rush after Braun, but Braun just plants him. Look at... Jeez. And a couple of punches to the back of The Rock. Braun Strowman possibly looking for a little bit of revenge here. Takes The Rock, lifts him up in the air, but The Rock able to reverse. The Rock takes down Braun. Now The Rock can't waste any time. The big man back to his feet now and a bulldog. We've seen Braun Strowman get manhandled. Something that we never seen before, and looking for an early pinfall here. But Braun able to kick out. Countouts also apply as well. I forgot to mention that. Just shoving The Rock away. Ooh, and a gut punch just absolutely flooring The Rock. And multiple hands. Get these hands isn't just a saying, it's a fact when it comes to Braun Strowman. And DDT again on Braun. The only way to beat him is if you can get him down. You can't beat him standing up. And just a 1 count by the big man, Braun. Tossing The Rock like he's absolutely nothing, like he's weightless. But The Rock able to reverse. Now working on the arm of Braun Strowman. Baron Corbin recently shattered the elbow of Braun Strowman. And I asked him why he hasn't been here in so long. And he says, because he was waiting for the right time. Oh no, Braun plants The Rock. Can he score the first pin of this matchup? And no, The Rock only kicks out at 1. Honestly, I don't even think that was a smart idea, Rock. I don't think that was a smart idea. You just pissed Braun off. And a running power slam to The Rock. And no, The Rock gets his shoulder up at 2. Just a big right hand to Braun, or I mean Rock, excuse me. And another one to the People's Champ. Definitely a turn of events from the last time we've seen these two. And now the official is down. The official got in the way. Anything goes now. But the official is getting right back up, and The Rock able to reverse it. And a spine buster to Braun Strowman. We've seen him deliver that so many times. And Braun kicks out at 2. Almost had 1 fall. I guarantee this is going to come down to the wire. Looking for the rock bottom, perhaps, on Braun. And a rock bottom on Braun Strowman. And he's able to score the first fall. The Rock has the first fall on Braun. That probably just pissed him off at this point. But The Rock able to reverse. Takes Braun down again. I don't know what it is about The Rock, but he seems to have Braun's number. Sure seems like it. But Braun able to get out of the way. And a big boot right to The Rock. But The Rock able to reverse. And another DDT on Braun Strowman. But Braun gets right back up. He is pissed. And now Braun just fired up now. He is pissed off. And a spine buster to The Rock. Using his own move. What's up, Tom? How's it going? And now Braun Strowman looking to score his first fall, perhaps. Oh no. Planting the People's Champ. Can he tie it up? And no, The Rock kicks out. The Rock kicks out. Again, these two met in a match before for the RCW World Championship where The Rock absolutely dominated Braun Strowman. Something that we've never seen before here in RCW, because the Edge knows all about what Braun Strowman is capable of. And he lasted a very long time in his matchup as well with the Monster Among Men. Looking for the power slam again. Oh no. Running power slam. And a rope break. If it weren't for that, The Rock probably would have been down for the count. And again, it's still only 1 fall. And a couple of hands right to the face of the Monster Among Men. Dragging the lifeless, monstrous body of Braun Strowman, lifts him up. That was a bad mistake there, and then Braun's trying to get out of it, and he does. Oh no. Lifts him up and plants The Rock again. Realizing where he is, he drags him slowly to the middle of the ring to make sure that there's no rope break. And no, The Rock's still kicked out. What are my thoughts on TLC? I only liked a couple matches. I honestly thought it was a very lackluster pay-per-view compared to, Evolution. I honestly say that Evolution was a phenomenal pay-per-view, the all-women's pay-per-view. But with that being said, I really liked the Women's Championship matchup, the SmackDown Women's Championship matchup. I thought that was cool, except for the part where Ronda Rousey completely ruined it. That's the part that I didn't really like. I would have liked to seen that match end a little bit differently. Not necessarily a different winner, but, you know, not Ronda Rousey getting involved. You know, that's... I would have liked that match to have been won in a fair way. But honestly, I thought it was a very lackluster pay-per-view. There was only a couple matches that I actually enjoyed. Thought it was a very lackluster card. But we have another spine buster on Braun Strowman. And The Rock, again, dragging the lifeless body of the monster among men. Looking for the Empire Elbow here. The Empire Elbow on Braun. And now Braun is down 2 falls, but there's still 5 minutes to go. Anything can happen. Now Braun's realizing that he has to get back in this matchup somehow. And The Rock clotheslining Braun, but he's able to roll out of the ring, raising his hands to the crowd. But The Rock able to get right back on him. And that's exactly what you need to do. Make sure that you remain, that you have this 2-fall lead here. But Braun gets back in it here, and he'll gladly take a count out as a part of a fall, but a DDT on Braun, and now Braun is busted open. Again, hitting Braun into the ring post. 7. 8. Braun's got to get back in. Oh, no. And now Braun's down 3 falls. Yeah, Asuka, I was happy about Asuka winning the title. Like, it's way long overdue, especially with her having that losing streak. Or not really a losing streak, but I just felt like after she lost to Charlotte, they absolutely did nothing with her in terms of storyline-wise. As a people's elbow again on Braun Strowman, absolutely punishing him just like he was in their last matchup. But Braun kicks out of that one, and Braun's got to fight a way back in this matchup really fast. Planting The Rock. And again, The Rock kicks out. Now he's pissed now. He is pissed. 2 minutes left. Running power slam on The Rock. And a rope break again. That's what definitely made Braun not score that fall last time either. But a reversal back again, and now Braun dragging him to the middle of the ring, wasting precious time here, but the ref gets down. And he scores 1 fall. Now he has 1 fall now. Braun taking a little bit too much time here, gearing up that punch. I love Nia Jax. I absolutely love Nia Jax, and I believe she deserves to get that title back. I believe the WrestleMania moment was probably one of the greatest moments of her career. Tamina, I just feel like, honestly, I just feel like she's useless. Thanks for the follow, by the way. I just feel like she's, honestly, I feel like with WWE, now here's the problem with them. They throw in, and Braun submits again, but they throw in use, like when they have no use for somebody, right? And this is the main problem that I have with them, that I have with WWE. I'll always be a wrestling fan at heart because I enjoy it so much. But the issue is like, I just can't stand how, like, they use their wrestlers. Like, they'll, you know, like with Asuka, for example, they finally made her win something and actually mean something. Because after she lost that streak, she wasn't doing anything. You know, she won the Royal Rumble, and then they hyped up her matchup against Charlotte, and then Charlotte beat her, which I think was cool. You know, a plot twist, but at the same time, I felt like they hyped her up a lot just for it to crumble. You know what I mean? They hyped her up for that, like, streak, and then, you know, that's what they did. And back to my point, though, is like, with Tamina, is I feel like she's just another useless superstar. Like, I believe she has a lot of talent, but I'm saying that they're not using her correctly. As The Rock wins this matchup. But, you know, like I said, like, I just believe that they're not using her correctly. Like, there are so many, I don't really know how they could. So that sort of makes my opinion kind of messed up a little bit. Yeah, like they sort of wasted her career. And it's sort of like with Paige, right? And it's so sad what happened with Paige and everything, like with the whole sex tapes and all that crap and all the bad stuff that happened with her. Like, I'm blaming her bad decisions on that one, but at the same time, I feel for her because she was at the top of the mountain, and then towards the end of her career, like when all this crap was happening with her, accidental stuff that she did not intend to happen, like bad decisions, like, I mean, everybody dates bad men, or everybody dates, you know, everybody goes through that phase where they date bad people. But, you know, like I'm saying, it's like they take people who are talented, right? They make such a big deal out of them. Like with Paige, they made such a big deal out of her being the first ever women's NXT champion, women's champion, youngest Divas champion. They had this big rivalry with her and AJ Lee, which was fantastic, which ended with the Bellas, them teaming up against the Bellas. And then they had this whole PCB thing, which I thought was cool, right? And then where she turned heel on Becky and Charlotte, and then Paige and Charlotte got into it. And then when she got injured, after she returned for a very short time, because, you know, which I honestly blame WWE for her retiring so early. Because a neck injury like that is very serious. I would like to see AJ Lee back in WWE. As much as I don't think it's going to happen, I would like to see her come back. But I blame WWE officials for everything that happened to Paige at that point. Regarding her injury and regarding her retirement. because she wanted to get back, right? And she was cleared to compete. Here's what they should have done with her. Considering the 2 neck injuries that she had prior, and the surgery that she had to repair that, basically was what I think they should have done, or at least what I would have done, if I was a member of the WWE roster, or a member of the medical team, whatever. I would have been like, okay, we're not going to put you on house shows, which are shows that aren't on TV, so like the WWE Live crap. We're not going to put you on those because those don't matter. We're going to have you rest, right? And we're going to have you perform in matches. But they could have done a couple squash matches where she just beat the hell out of people just to protect her until they were ready for her to fully compete on a full level. Like, they should have just kept her for Raw and not worried about her with the house shows, because that's where she got injured, was at a house show that ultimately caused her retirement. So, in my opinion, like, yeah, Caitlyn, I'm not really interested in her. She never really interested me. But it's nice that they brought her back. But I honestly didn't really care for her, to be honest, in all honesty. But, like, that would have been the smart thing to do. Because Paige was the most popular diva that they ever had. She was the most popular woman that they ever had. Like, when she debuted and when she was the big thing in WWE, she was the most popular diva ever. And they practically just shat on her career and basically turned her into a nobody because of things that happened. And I understand you have to punish people for things like that, but honestly, the whole sex tape fiasco and the whole thing, like, yeah, she recorded it, but at the same time, that was a hacking. Like, that can happen to anybody. So, like, you're going to punish somebody because of that? I feel like that had something to do with it. I mean, aside from the drugs and crap that she was involved in, that I can understand punishing her for, like cocaine and doing bad drugs and stuff. But the whole sex tape thing, I felt like they were punishing her for it. Not only that, but they used it as part of the script in a rap battle that took place between the Usos and Xavier Woods at one time, and the New Day. Like, I just felt like they punished her so much because of that. And I understand the integrity of a company. Like, you don't want somebody who is, fucking around with their boyfriend on a video. That you don't want somebody doing that. But you see what I mean. It's like, there comes to a point where you gotta realize that a person's a victim. I've been hacked on Facebook numerous times, and I've had people pretend to be me and send messages to my family members and whatever. Like, hacking somebody isn't that hard. I can hack a computer. I can do that. Anybody with a little bit of computer knowledge, or anybody with decent computer knowledge, can hack a computer. Now, hacking a whole, like, government system, like, that's a whole new thing. But a simple computer, such as a laptop, you can get into it. It's not that hard. But anyways, like, I just feel like the whole idea of WWE and what they're doing, it's stupid. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it all the time, but that's the whole point of RCW, is to give you guys something that you guys actually enjoy watching all the time. Because as a wrestling fan myself, like, sometimes I get mad at how matches end and how pay-per-views are, and I want to give you guys entertainment, like good quality entertainment, And think about it this way. You don't have to pay for this. You don't have to pay for any network. It's completely free. It's on YouTube and Twitch. I mean, you can pay to sub to me if you want to on Twitch. Like, I'm not telling you to or telling you not to. Whatever. You can do that if you do so desire. But at the same time, like, that's why I created RCW. It's for you guys. It's for any wrestling fan that watches WWE, whether casually or an avid fan like myself, so to provide you guys good quality entertainment. I mean, I'll always pay for the WWE Network because I love it that much. But for those people who just watch wrestling casually and who constantly bitch about it, like, you wouldn't believe the amount of comments that I see on pages like Official Wrestle Facebook page about, you know, her being on, you know, her sex tapes. Like, people are still mentioning it. And it's like, let it die down. Like, yeah, it'll always be rememberable. It'll be something that'll always be there. But, you know, it's like, do you really gotta bring that up? It's like a joke that, it's, you know, one of those jokes, or one of those, like, fads that died a long time ago. It's like the Damn Daniel Vine, or the silly bands, or, you know, some stupid thing. It's like reviving, what's that saying? Feeding a dead horse, or kicking up a dead horse, or something like that. Or whatever, I don't know what the saying is. But anyways, it's like, I just feel that towards the end of Paige's career, like, they just completely wrecked it. And it's their fault that they lost a really good wrestler. I'm happy for her that she's able to continue doing something with wrestling. But can you imagine this? Retiring at 26 years old, 25 to be precise, when that's all you did as a kid. That's all you did. You did nothing else. That's all you know. Like, she even said she's never had a real job as a kid. She never worked at McDonald's or Arby's like we do as kids. You know, she never did that. She always wrestled. Like, that's what she did for years and years and years. And to have that stripped away from her, now she's got to be in charge of making the matches. Well, and just reading from a script as a manager and just saying, okay, somebody's going to get a title match. I mean, that's got to hurt her, you know, because she's got to be thinking, that could be me in those matches. But no, I can't do it anymore. And, you know, I felt bad for her in that sense. And I still feel bad. And I'll always feel bad. You know, when somebody's career, when somebody's livelihood gets taken away from them like that, especially through all the circumstances that she went through in her life, like, yeah, she made bad decisions and I criticized her for that. But I can tell you, I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life that I've regretted. And everybody does. And to ridicule somebody for that, and to see these so-called fans that are Paige fans that only like Paige because she's hot, or only like, you know, that constantly comment about the tapes and about, you know, everything that happened to her with Alberto Del Rio and all that crap. It's like, you have no right to do that. It's like, you're attacking a person's personal life, and what they do in their personal life is whatever they do in their personal life. That might be idiotic. Like, I agree that she should have focused on her career and stuff like that instead of worrying about a boyfriend. I mean, if I was making as much money as she was, I'd dump my girlfriend right on the spot if she was getting in the way of that. Because, to me, your career is more important than one person, okay? You know, it's like when you have a family and you're trying to provide for that family, or you're trying to provide for yourself so that you can live a life. You know, that's what you need to be 100% focused on. So having a boyfriend or having a girlfriend that you're so in love with to the point where you're not focusing on your priorities, like, that's where you got to draw the line. You know, but I'm sorry for going on a tangent, but, you know, that's really just how I feel about it, and how I feel about, you know, WWE and what they've been doing. And I hope you guys really like the show, and I'm happy that you brought that up, Tom. I'm honestly happy that you brought up stuff, and we were able to discuss stuff, because that's what we're here for. We're here to discuss wrestling, and you know, discuss things, and you know, I like to leave my streams in an open, relatively orderly discussion, and you know, whatever. Okay, just before I go quickly here, I'd like to say something in regards to the schedule in terms of on break. So this is my last week of college before I go on break with the fam, and you know, Christmas, all that crap. You'll see in my Twitch panels, and if you're on YouTube, I'll do something real fast. I'll look it up real quick. But in my Twitch panels, if I go to my channel here, you're probably going to see my stream pop up. I'll mute that real fast. Let me minimize this. I don't think it shows my panels when I'm live. No, it doesn't. Does it? No. It does not. Okay. But with that said, it doesn't show my panels. But in my panels, if you go down to my Twitch panels, you'll see a schedule. I have everything outlined from, you know, a little bit about myself to the streaming schedule, to the stream rules, whatever, and all that stuff. And in the stream schedule, you'll see a schedule, right? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 4 o'clock. But then you'll see a thing that says weekend schedule, or a break schedule, I guess you could say. So the break schedule is pretty much the same schedule, just a couple hours earlier than 4 o'clock. Because primarily the reason why I stream at 4 o'clock on, you know, when I'm in college is because that's when I have free time. That's when my classes end at like 3. So I like to give myself that hour window. So with me not having classes, because obviously I'll be on break, I don't have to worry about that. So I believe, if I'm correct here on the Twitch panels, like I said, I wish I could look at them, but they won't show it while I'm live. But if you look at them down in the schedule panel, you'll see, I believe it's 2 hours earlier. So it's 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Pacific times are also on there as well. So if you're, I only do the Pacific and Eastern. So if you're from another part of the world, you're just going to have to figure it out. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out when I'll be streaming your time. So I did that purposely because honestly, I don't like streaming later in the day, like this. Especially when I'm on break and I have nothing else to do. So back then when RCW first started, we would stream at 1 o'clock, right? That was the norm before going back to college. So I decided we're gonna do it at 2 o'clock. I think that's what the time says, I believe, in the panels. So that is sort of the break schedule, and I will oblige by that schedule. 9 times out of 10, I will oblige by that schedule. Occasionally, if I can't stream on a day, I will tell you guys on my Twitter. That's why you know, I've been active on Twitter more than anything else. Usually what I'll do is I'll post a link when I'm about to go live so that you can jump in. You can find my social medias in a social media panel on Twitch as well. You can go there. There's also a RCW Ravage Championship Wrestling Facebook page in which you can like if you use Facebook. If you don't, it's completely fine. You can still look at the page. You just won't be able to like it. Basically, that page just keeps up to date with RCW stuff. I also do another show called Lockdown that is that is part of my streaming schedule that is focused on the Outlaws past, before RCW happened. So before they got the call up to RCW, it focuses on their past. So it primarily focuses on the Outlaws. So, like I said, if for those of you that are new here, that haven't been around here before, I like to incorporate custom superstars in RCW sometimes. Most of the wrestlers that I use are WWE superstars that have been physically scanned in the game, or they're from some people that are really good at community creations that are really awesome. But for Lockdown, something is a little different. Because of the backstory of the Outlaws, the only superstars that are from WWE that are allowed to be used in Lockdown, which is this other show that's completely separate from RCW, are Seth Rollins and Paige, because they're a part of the Outlaw backstory. No other WWE superstar is going to be used in that show. So that's where you guys come in. So I know how a lot of you want to be on RCW, how a lot of you want your superstars to be on RCW, and like, I apologize for those of you that wanted it to happen that haven't had it added. But the reason being is because I write scripts for this show. I plan everything out to a T. Does it always work out that way? No. But in terms of roster-wise, if I create you a superstar, like if you want me to make you a superstar that you haven't created yet, right? You haven't created it, you haven't done it. That means you got to come up with names for the finishers, the signatures. I got to possibly make a logo for you, or if that's what you want, and I got to make a moveset for you, and I got to adjust the appearance. And that takes a lot of work. It took me about 3 hours, streaming-wise, to make somebody's wrestler. So you can see my dilemma here. You can see that issue. And I don't mind doing that. But I'm saying, but with RCW, storylines, there's so many storylines going on that a lot of times it's hard to keep track of them. And the reason, and don't think that I'm like practically ignoring you, that I don't want your superstar part of the roster. It's not that. It's just that adding another superstar to the roster, I have to think of storylines to put them in. I have to think of rivals to put them in rivalries with. I have to think of all this stuff. And so if I keep adding on superstars, then it just gets too much and I start to forget key storylines. Like, I could forget a Brian Outlaw story. I haven't done it yet, but it could be possible. So with the show Lockdown, it's a little different. Because it's not as deeply involved as RCW is. Like, it's not as in-depth. We only use custom superstars. So if you want your custom superstar to be a part of Lockdown, to go up against any of the Outlaws, that is completely fine. There's no pay-per-views for Lockdown because it's an indie show, and not a lot of indie shows have pay-per-views. They just have special events. They might not have pay-per-views. They might have title defenses, but it's just a part of a regular show. Like NXT obviously has NXT TakeOver, but that's the only pay-per-view that they have, and that's every few months. That's not every month like WWE has, or like RCW has 2 pay-per-views a season. So if you want your superstar to be a part of the Lockdown roster, I would strongly encourage it, because that's the roster that is lacking right now. That's the roster that basically, I'll even show you guys real fast. If I go back, let's see. Let me go back. Okay, so here's the universe mode for Lockdown, right? It's going to take a second to load. So you can see here we have, we have some of these matches. Obviously, we have all these custom superstars. And we have our own championships. We have the MWE. We don't have a tag team championship. We have our own championships here. So these are all the championships that we have. We have 3 championships for Lockdown. So all of these superstars that are a member of the roster, these are the superstars that are a member of the roster. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's, let me see, let me count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 2 of the superstars out of the 16 superstars on the roster are unusable in matches. So we can't use Paige and Seth Rollins in matches, but we are allowed to use them as managers. So we have only 14 superstars as a part of the roster compared to like 100 or some sort of on RCW. So we're lacking here. We are lacking huge. So this is where I need you guys. I would like to develop a roster of at least 50 to 60 people. At least. Because right now, all I'm doing is going on the community creations and seeing what wrestlers I like. And then I download them. So, that's pretty much it. And this show primarily focuses on the Outlaws. So you're going to definitely, if you love the Outlaws on RCW, then definitely watch this show. Because this show focuses on all of them. And their independent wrestling scene. And the thing is, we are not allowed to have normal matches. They have to be special matches. They have to be like Falls Count Anywheres, Extreme Rules, Steel Cages, whatever. They gotta be those types of matches. So, the only normal matches that we are allowed to have on that show are tag matches. So, anyways, I'm done talking at you guys. Let me know if you guys want a wrestler for Lockdown. Again, there's only like 13 people on the roster, and that's not a lot to use week to week. So I would definitely really appreciate it. I don't mind creating wrestlers. So if you guys want one of your wrestlers, let me know. You can always message me on Twitch, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. And then we can discuss what you want. Thanks for the host, Wild Tay. How's it going? Then we can discuss what you want. The only thing that you need to come up with, right? The only job that I'm going to give you is as your wrestler. Because I want you guys to be at creative control because it's your wrestler. It's your character that I'm making. So if you want a specific logo for them, I can make that for you. Like if you want them highly detailed like the Outlaws are, I can do that for you. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I can do that for you. Anyways, so the only thing that you guys have to do in terms of making your wrestler a part of Lockdown, the Outlaws Past, the show with the Outlaws Past, is you have to tell me whether or not they're going to be a heel or a face. So if you want to be a bad guy and cheat, you need to let me know that. You need to let me know what kind of wrestler they are. Like if they're like a high flyer or a striker or a submission specialist or something, because then because then that way when I'm creating your moveset, I know how to create them. Because with the Outlaws, they're all strikers. They're all like really fast, agile guys. So and girls. So their moveset caters to them. They do springboards. They're really fast. You know, whatever. You know, it matters. You know, it matters. You know, if you want your wrestler to be the best he or she can be, then it matters. And trust me, you've seen the Outlaws. You've seen the wrestlers I've made. Your wrestler is going to look freaking awesome when I'm done with them. So yeah, you know, if you want your wrestler made, all you need to do is tell me what type of wrestler they are, heel or face, and let me think of other things. Where they're from. Where they're from. Like, if you want them to be from California or whatever. Please make it a city that I can actually put in-game. Because it would make more sense that way. But, like I said, I'm not really looking to add anybody to RCW right now. I actually got a guy that I just added to RCW, and I'm excited for you guys to see him. But as of right now, I'm not looking to really add anybody else to RCW, but Lockdown especially, I need wrestlers. I need wrestlers. I'm begging you guys, I need wrestlers. And for those of you who own Xbox already, who already have a wrestler created that's on the community creations with a custom moveset and everything, that's awesome. Just send me the hashtags, because what I can do here is I can go to Superstars, right? And I can go to hashtag and enter the hashtags. So make sure you hashtag your wrestler with something. Like, and something that is unique, necessarily. And honestly, all I ask is that you don't make it outlaw. You don't make it outlaw because I already have an outlaw family. That's the only thing I ask, is that you don't add on to the outlaw. Because then, if you use the name outlaw, then I'm going to think that they're a member of the outlaw family, and they're not. So, you know, any other names are accepted. As you can see here, the amount of creativity on here. Kelly, fantastic. Tanara Conti, you know, the amount of creativity on here is freaking insane. And you can contact me either by my Twitter, DMing me on Twitter, Instagram, or whispering me on Twitch. Whispering me on Twitch, I don't really check whispers on Twitch. I don't really get notifications for those. So I highly suggest you message me on my Twitter or Instagram, because that's the thing that I'm mostly on more than anything else. So if you can like DM me on Twitter, like through a DM, and say, hey, I want this as my wrestler, or I want this, or I want this, I can get started. Because the moveset's going to take me the longest to make if you don't have a wrestler already made. But I can tell you, your wrestler is going to look nice. Even if you only give me a little bit to work with. Like you say, oh, I want black hair. Okay, do you want black short hair? Or I want long black hair. Like, okay, cool. I can do anything I want with it. The only thing I ask is, you know, be a little bit lenient, because I'm only using what the game is capable of. Okay? So I'm not a miracle worker, but I can design logos that I can put on your wrestlers, like attires and stuff. Just try and make them unique. As far as, like, entrances go, I'll take care of that. Because once you tell me the personality of your character, like how your character is. Like, is your character sassy? Is your character conceited? Is your character perseverant? Is your character a douchebag? You know, what's your character's personality? Because a wrestler makes the entrance, not the other way around. And then I can design an entrance for them. However, I will not use any other wrestler's music, like any WWE wrestler's music. Anyway, I'll use the generic music, because unfortunately you can't add custom music. If I could, trust me, I would have recorded "Breaking Rules," which is a rap song that I'm coming out with for Brian Outlaw a long time ago. I would have recorded it right now, and it would already be out in the game right now if I could do that. But I can't. But anyways, I just thought I'd let you guys know that, you know, because that show is just as important as RCW is. RCW is still going to be happening. It's going to go back and forth in between the two. We're going to have usually maybe 2 episodes of RCW per week, and then have 1 episode of Lockdown. Lockdown is shorter than RCW. It only has, I think, 4 or 5 matches on it. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching RCW, and I apologize for me just talking at you guys. I just want to explain, you know, just how this streaming's going to go and how the show is going to go from further on out. How both of the shows are going to go from further on out. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of RCW, probably on Wednesday. Aim for that, because that's the normal schedule, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Most of y'all are probably done with school by now, I would imagine, or getting close to that point. Unless I say otherwise, I will see you guys on Wednesday at 4 o'clock.